Welcome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. It's that time once again. It's time for Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024, and you're locked in for the next hour or so. Folks, I want to welcome you. If you're in the chat, hopefully you are in the chat. Come on in, say hello. I'm going to be drinking a little whiskey because tonight's topic is going to be a little deep. Going to be drinking a little Redbreast 12. You come on in and say hi. I'll give you a little toast and a shout out. And I will display your message on screen. Unless you ask me otherwise. Well, I guess your message is going to show up on screen anyway, but I'll highlight it. So come on into the chat and say hello, whether you're on X, whether you're on Locals, whether you're on Rumble, whether you're on YouTube. Going to be drinking a little Redbreast 12. So feel free to stop in and say hi. Going to be talking about a deep topic tonight. And I'm going to be talking about gatekeeping and cancel culture. And, going to be kind of making some decisions about the future of the channel during this stream. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned and chat along with us and say hello. So if you're out there, cheers and welcome. Cheers and welcome. Feel free to say hi. All right, let's get started. We have a couple of events going on. And, since we're talking about cancel culture, there are a couple of America-related events going on. First off is we're talking about, hey, we got Shut Up, I Can Cook over on YouTube. Cheers and welcome. Looks like my Rumble view counter for YouTube isn't working properly, but hey, welcome and cheers. So first off, yeah, we have the baseball All-Star game happening, very America related. And since we're going to be talking about cancel culture, I just wanted to quickly throw a shout out to the young lady who sang the national anthem prior to the home run derby on Monday night. Um, while yes, it was quite literally one of the worst renditions of the Star Spangled Banner I have ever heard. I heard in the days since she's come out and said that she was drunk during the national anthem and going to go to rehab. I will spare you folks the video of the Star Spangled Banner, and I will spare that young lady. Uh, I've read her name several times, but I can't remember it, and I will spare her the embarrassment of promoting exactly how horrible of a time she had on Monday night. But yeah, she's pretty much been cancel cultured, but uh, but for performance reasons. So there you go. Bad performance, you're probably not going to get called back. But yeah, we're going to be talking about cancel culture a lot, and one of the things I did want to talk about along with cancel culture is gatekeeping. Shavin Cook said yes. She messed up the anthem. She was drunk. Yeah, allegedly. Again, I've been seeing reports that yes, she says she's going to be checking into a rehab. So go figure. Um. So yeah, gatekeeping is something that has been a hot topic on the Twitterverse and on the Rumbleverse, along with this whole situation about cancel culture. And if you folks aren't familiar, in the days since the attack on President Trump's life, a lot of people have had a lot of hot takes. And we're going to be exploring some of those hot takes today. First off, I'm going to say we'll get in a little bit to some of the conspiracy theories and some of the crazy things that have been reported and some of the things that may not be confirmed. I'll kind of give a little lip service to some of them, but I'm not going to promote these theories. But I will promote some of the government narrative here. I'll talk a little bit about what I think of the government narrative, but along with the wake of the Trump shooting and all of the chaos that's happened and all of the people making disgusting jokes. We've also had the Republican National Convention, which is yet another America related event like the World or the baseball All Star game, in which the RNC has had some just amazing renditions of the Star Spangled Banner this week. I managed to catch one on Viva Frey's channel earlier. So yeah, shout out to the Republicans for getting better singers than Major League Baseball and the Texas Rangers. I guess the liberal state of Wisconsin uh, can get better vocal artists than Dallas, Texas. Anyway, as part of the RNC, the whole point of the Republican National Convention is that now that we have gone through this painstaking process of primary voting, now that the attacks and slurs and accusations and disagreements of the parties amongst themselves have settled, and we as Americans have rallied around two candidates, Joseph Robinette Biden and Donald John Trump. The division amongst politically aligned people has to stop. The purity tests that we have put each other through for the last 2 years, to some degree, has to stop. And look, I'm a libertarian. I don't consider myself a Republican. I consider myself conservative, aligned with my values. But for the most part, I don't consider myself a Republican. I don't consider myself a Christian conservative, trademark, whatever. I'm Christian adjacent. I'm spiritual. I believe that this is a Christian nation. But we're going to be getting into a lot of these heady topics here. So I'm trying to kind of paint it all with a broad brush so that I could nitpick a lot of these arguments here in a few minutes. But through the primary process, a lot of things were said between Nikki Haley about Donald Trump and some of the other candidates. Well, Nikki Haley is one of the people who were invited to speak at the Republican National Convention. And she gave her speech, I don't remember if it was last night or Monday night, but she has given her speech. And we covered a lot of the debates, and we've covered Nikki Haley extensively throughout her campaign here on Mild's Culture Plate. And we covered a lot of the things she had to say. Well, let's see what she had to say this week at the Republican National Convention about Donald J. Trump.
We should acknowledge that there are some Americans who don't agree with Donald Trump 100% of the time. I happen to know some of them. And I want to speak to them tonight.
Okay, so yeah, Nimrata Randhawa starting off talking about trying to bring the party together, trying to bring people who don't agree 100% together. The message is strong.
My message to them is simple. You don't have to agree with Trump 100% of the time to vote for it.
Man, this video is garbage. Whoever captured this, man, must have uploaded it with some...
Take it from me. I haven't always agreed with President Trump. But we agree more often than we disagree.
Oh, really? Oh, really? See, this was not her tone during the primary.
We agree on keeping America strong. We agree on keeping America safe. And we agree that Democrats have moved so far to the left that they're putting our freedoms in danger.
Platitudes, folks.
I'm here tonight because we have a country to save. And a unified Republican Party is essential for saving her.
I'm trying to wait for the important part here. Oh, God, get on with it.
For those who have some doubts about President Trump, I want to tell you a few things about the commander-in-chief I know and worked with. As ambassador to the United Nations, I had a front row seat to his national security policies.
Uh-oh.
We sure could use those again. When Barack Obama was president, Vladimir Putin invaded Crimea.
Putin.
But when Donald Trump was president, Putin did nothing. No invasion.
Sorry, I had to skip forward a little bit, man. I'm trying to make this because this is ear-piercing. I apologize,
no invasion,
folks.
No wars. That was no accident. Putin didn't attack you.
Okay, so anyway, I can't listen anymore. I can't. That audio quality was horrible. But let's just say, she's promoting like essentially this was retweeted by Charlie Kirk, so fuck you, Charlie Kirk. A strong president doesn't start wars, a strong president prevents wars, is what she said. Now remember, she said that as president, she would go to war with these nations. This is a totally different tune, folks. But here's the thing. The Republican National Convention is supposed to be used to unite and forgive. And there are reports that people overheard Trump saying that she asked to speak at a time when she was on stage saying that Trump asked her to speak and she was grateful. So, enough with the petty drama. Enough with the petty bullshit. Look, I don't trust Nimrata Randhawa as far as you can throw her. I don't. She's a horrible politician, a horrible person, and she's a warmonger and a war hog. But the idea is now it's literally time to win votes. You have to win votes. If you're not winning votes, then what are you doing here? If you're not trying to win an election, then what are you doing here? And yes, let's get the Nikki Haley voters on board in some way, shape, or form. And if that's her giving lip service to peace instead of war for the first time in 2024, hey, let's take it where we can get it. Now, speaking of unity, we have this individual here, Matt Walsh, giving this really 5-paragraph screed on Amber Rose. Now, if you're not familiar with Amber Rose, here, let me go ahead and bring up a picture of her. In fact, you know what? Screw it. Let me go to Twitter and bring up her damn speech. Or at least a good part of it. Sorry, I meant to do this. Cookie says I'm censoring her and asks why she thinks I have red lipstick on. Not sure why you would think that. I just, when I'm talking, more blood flows to my mouth, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Amber Rose. Okay. Here we go. Let's do this. Share this tab.
I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States.
Look, even Trump is smiling and saying thank you. Okay, I'm gonna cut it short because this is gonna take all night if at this rate. But let me. She goes on to say how her father challenged her by saying that she was telling her father that Donald Trump was a racist, and he was like, no, you need to look into it. And she said she looked into it, and she convinced herself to vote for him. Now, if this isn't the message you're trying to get out in election season, I don't know what is. So Matt Walsh talks about how she was one of the founders of Slut Walk, right? He says, first of all, maybe Rose has totally changed and had some kind of conversion experience. There's no evidence of that. Only that she likes Trump now. There are many examples of conservatives rallying around their new celebrity hero just because the person likes Trump, blah, blah, blah. even if there's been some kind of conversion, that doesn't mean you have to take someone who's been a conservative for 42 seconds and turn them into a mouthpiece for your movement. Again, how many times do we need to learn this lesson? Third, just to give you an idea of how new Rose's conversion is, if there has been one at all, it was just this past March that she praised the Satanic Temple for helping a lot of people by making sure they can get abortions. That was in March of this year. She has not even pretended to disavow that point of view or any of her far left views apart from her dislike of Trump. If it is outrageous and offensive to suggest that such a person is not fit to be a primetime Republican speaker, then conservatives as a movement is even worse shape than I thought. Okay, so let me fucking piece apart this. Hey, we got Squishy Hunter over on Rumble saying hello. Cheers and welcome. Parts of the Council on Future Conflict had been on a rampage since the assassination attempt. Redemption must be accompanied by repentance. Okay, so here's where I'm at with this. Okay. I tore apart the Nyla Rose situation. The Nyla Rose, not Amber Rose, not to be confused. The Nyla Rose situation a couple months back. I tore her a new asshole. Right? I called her a grifter. I called her every name under the sun. Now, as far as I'm concerned, she has kind of repented since then. She's kind of improved. She seems like she's deleted her OnlyFans. So I apologize to Nyla Rose. Right? I didn't believe it. I called you a fake conservative. This is a different situation, right? Instead of, I don't see Amber Rose asking for a Republican audience. She came to the Republicans and said, I'm your audience. Now, granted, she's on stage at the Republican National Convention, but she's coming to them. She's not drawing them to her. She's not saying, come look at my OnlyFans. She's not saying, come get abortions with me. She said, I found Donald Trump. I liked what you guys said. And so now I'm going to follow Donald Trump. Right? This was her coming to the Republicans. Shut Up I Can Cook says, Hunter drunk, LOL. All right. Not sure which Hunter you're talking about, but yeah, most people named Hunter are probably drunk by 6:20 Central Time. So this is where I'm going to give Nyla Rose a pass, because the Republican National Convention is to garner votes. And look, you've had the Republican votes since day one of this campaign. You've had the Republican votes. Trump has won most of these primaries in a fucking landslide. What Trump needs are normies. What Trump needs are liberals. What Trump needs are libertarians. What Trump needs right now is the undecided voter. What Trump needs are the sluts, are the abortion getters, to start hearing a better way and changing their fucking mind. And if Amber Rose is one of those, sure. I saw this response to the Amber Rose situation, and I thought it was worth playing here.
6 jobs for 3 people.
Okay, hang on. We got Cookie saying yes, mild black women. Exactly.
Just to survive in Biden's economy.
Why am I crying over the Republican National Convention? Like, what the frick is going on?
It's upsetting. It's upsetting to see
this world that we're living in right now.
To help immigrants
Hold on,
who came here illegally while
woo, this world that we're living in right now feels like upside down land. I've been a Democrat for nearly 50 years. Why am I crying over
50
the
years
Republican
Democrat,
National Convention?
and she's ready to vote
Amber
Republican.
Rose did a beautiful job. Oh, she did a beautiful job. I'm so proud of her. And then all the diversity and just, I think I'm crying because it's cognitive dissonance. It's cognitive dissonance. Like, what is going on? I've been told my whole life Republicans are just all, white and racist.
Okay, now let's stop right there for a second. So she used the diversity word. Now, diversity, a lot of times when we talk about it on this program, it's a dirty word. And I'll tell you why. Because if you were to believe the Democrats, if you were to believe the mainstream media, then things like hard work, showing up to work on time, paying your bills, raising your children to have some kind of fucking manners, right? They call that white supremacy. They call that whiteness. They say those are unfair standards to put on the black community. And finally, there's a lot of black folks right now with a hell of a lot of common sense that realize, no, you can be a part of that and still be diverse. You can be a part of common sense and still be diverse. And they're not letting the media lie to them. And so you have wonderful women like this.
Men and all of this. I don't think I've probably ever watched a Republican National Convention. Let's start there. You don't know unless you go see for yourself and stop listening to what people tell
Hey, we got
you.
Dean Grath in the chat. Cheers and welcome. Yeah, black folks, man.
It's just so
Love them.
beautiful.
You gotta love black
Just
folks, man.
the patriotism, the coming together. I'm telling you, if you on the outside and you think MAGA is this horrible thing, I don't know what to tell you besides you have to see for yourself. It's beautiful. It's so
Squishy Hunter, please
beautiful.
don't.
The coming together of America, America saying no more, no longer. We're not going to do this. We're not going to divide ourselves. We are red, white, and blue. It's beautiful.
In fact, if you don't, here's what I'll do.
I got to finish watching.
I'll put the chat on the screen if Squishy Hunter doesn't. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, I'll put the chat on the screen. What did I do with that? Where's my settings? Here it is. Sorry, I meant to have that up. Oh, nice cock. Shut up, I can cook says, yeah, Demon's Wrath, don't let me catch you, you Brit. And then, yeah, black folks learn this from white women. Exactly. It was the white racists who taught the division into the black community and into the white community. Racists couldn't just be racist on their own. They had to make y'all racist too. And it's unfortunate. Those values I was talking about earlier, no, they're just being a decent person. And most black folks know that. But, again, our media has tried to teach them that it's quote unquote whiteness. Okay, speaking of whiteness and racists, we've got Melanie Mack, who called out yet another of the RNC speakers for being too different.
Listen to what she says.
Our one true God, you. Dear Waheguru, our one
Waheguru, whatever.
Whatever.
Dear Waheguru.
Oh, Squishy Hunter.
Our one true God.
Yeah,
she says it right there. Some people are like, oh, but
Squishy Hunter, you can't do that, man. I might have to kick you if you say stuff like that, man. Please don't do that. Because this is literally what this whole stream is about, is where we draw the line. And hopefully we can... Okay, there we go. Hopefully we can behave just a little bit so we don't have to draw the line, because we are on several platforms.
she's talking about our God. She's talking about the real God, the one true God. Wahegu, are you retarded? Are you serious? Are you justifying a freaking demon? Oh no, but she's talking about the people. How did people not boo her off the stage?
Well, because like I just said, and this is the thing. Look, do you not want Hindus to vote Republican? Should they just vote Democrat? Is that the answer? Should we want all Hindus or Punjabis, as Demon's Rest pointing out? Yeah, this is Harmeet Dillon, by the way. This is Harmeet Dillon, First Amendment lawyer Harmeet Dillon. She protects the rights we enjoy. Now, granted, a lot of people disagree with her on a lot of topics, including myself. I don't agree with a lot of things she does, but she is a First Amendment attorney. Cookie wants Squishy to meet her on Nick's chat. Do we want the Hindus to vote Democrat? Is that the answer? Do we want the sluts to vote Democrat? What's up with the purity test? Why can we not just accept that our groups don't have to be theological, ideological, fucking pure spaces or racially pure spaces? I don't get it. The idea here is to win votes of people who probably wouldn't normally vote Republican. Demon's Wrath says Hindi is a language, Hindu is a religion, Sikh is a religion. And Squishy Hunter says it's more about, I'm assuming, liberty than anything. But that, yes. There are morals that put our country is based off to make our country work. Yeah. Oh, wow. Chat is rolling. We got Cookie saying shut down immigration. We got chaos and insanity now. Yeah, to some degree. I mean, shut down the illegal immigration, the porous border. I mean, I am fine with people who follow the process. But yeah, I mean, look, that's really all I have to say about it. Is why are we gatekeeping when we know they're going to try to steal the election? Oh shit, I said that on YouTube. We know that there are people who wish the election to be fortified in some way, shape, or form, right? Maybe not steal the election, but there are people who want certain types of information to get out. They want to see an October surprise. They want to see an election get swayed in such a way that Republicans are unable to overcome. Look, again, I don't consider myself a Republican. He's won my vote. Donald Trump has won my vote. Shut Up I Can Cook says all you need is black American women. Squishy Hunter says commies are right out. And then Cookie's calling me drunk yet again. Cheers. I'm not going to drink every time you call me drunk. Let me just say that. So, I mean, that's that. Ultimately, we have to, when we institute these purity tests, right? It's one thing to do it with who we're going to give money to, who we're going to follow on Twitter, who we're going to support. I'm not following Amber Rose on social media. I'm not going to give her money. If she starts asking for money and starts doing the conservative grift like Lila Rose did, or Nyla Rose, whatever her name was, like Nyla Rose did, asking for people to follow her, grifting, and then saying, "Oh, I don't want your money. I'm just Christian now," and again, like I said, she didn't seem like she was actually grifting at the end of that. But Squishy Hunter says, "Wait, this isn't Nick's chat? No. No, unfortunately, no. My house is drug free. Sorry. Low blow, Nick. I apologize. Anyway, but ultimately, that's one of the big debates that's being had right now all over social media is why the gatekeeping. We need to be an umbrella. That's what we are. And just like the United States is an umbrella, and granted, we would like to definitely do something about those commies. Sanglan 86 showed up. Hey, Tokyo Rose, Best Rose. Cheers and welcome. I haven't actually tried the Tokyo Rose. Squishy Hunter says Nick and Bronco was an S tier stream. I have yet to watch it. I was too busy at work today to listen to anything on the podcast circuit. So we have guess I don't have that ready here. We have Count Dankula over on Twitter says this. We're changing topics, by the way, slightly. We're going to talk about the other thing that's been big on social media, and that is heard there are lots of cancelings happening over jokes. Damn, must suck. Now, again, if you don't know who Count Dankula is, he famously was arrested for telling a joke. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Yes, we are definitely going to get into that. Okay, so let me bring that down. And let me just say, yes, there have been a lot of canceling over days. And I'm sure you folks have seen this. This next story involves the music group Tenacious D, who is actor Jack Black and his bro Kyle Gass, or at least former bro, as we're going to find out here.
Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
Okay, now you notice, I just wanted to point out toward the end of that video, you did see Jack Black laughing and saying thank you. Now, again, whether that's uncomfortable laughter or not is to be determined. But there were a lot of people who were saying they would never buy Tenacious D record again. They can't support the band again, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, Jack Black came out with this statement. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and understanding. Cookie says, dude has a belly. Idiot said, don't miss Trump. Sango says he's also good with pikes as far as communists go. Cookie says Squishy's scared to meet her on Nick's chat. Well, you know, you got to pay for Nick's chat, so maybe. And then Kyle Gass also released a statement. The line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence in any kind, in any form, against anyone. What happened was a tragedy. I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down and truly regret any pain I've caused. Okay. Then you have Tim Pool and Scott Adams. Tim Pool says, Kyle Gass apologized for his crass comment. I accept his apology, and you should too. Tenacious D should resume their tour. Scott Adams says, I agree. Apologies should have to mean something. And so let's talk about that for a moment. Do apologies mean... Should apologies mean more than mean words? Demon's Wrath said something I can't repeat in chat. Sanglan 86 says he was on stage and in character. He probably didn't even catch it. Sure. Potentially. Yeah. You know, again, there's a lot of debate on what, how much Jack Black should be taking shit for this, because again, in the day or so immediately following the video going live on the internet, there were a lot of people who didn't even know Kyle Gass's name, knew nothing about the band. They just knew Jack Black was there, and therefore were demanding he be canceled. In fact, even Gina Carano was like, hey, he's in The Mandalorian, a show I used to be in, and I got canceled for saying the wrong thing. What about this guy? Which, again, he didn't even say it. By the way, Cookie saying hi to everybody. Hello. But again, he didn't even say it. But you got to put a little stock into whether or not, his laugh meant anything, whether he bears any kind of responsibility. I mean, this guy has been his friend for decades. Surely they share some kind of political belief, but yeah, at the same time, you can't make anyone responsible for someone else's words or actions, period. So the people calling for the cancellation of Jack Black, no, there's plenty of things you could cancel Jack Black for. Hell, I don't even agree with him endorsing Joe Biden a couple of weeks ago. But saying you'll never watch Disney or never watch a Jack Black movie or never watch or listen to another Tenacious D song ever again, I'll be honest. I personally wasn't my thing. Tenacious D wasn't my thing. Jack Black's not my thing. But if you were a Jack Black fan before and this fucked with your head, like just come on, grow up. But yeah, I agree with Scott Adams and Tim Pool. The Tenacious D tour should continue. Apologies should mean something, even if they were disingenuous. The idea behind cancel culture, the idea behind all of this is like, look, I've learned my lesson. We cannot go around Alex Jonesing everyone, right? Making it to where you just can't, you just don't get to live. You just don't get to eat. You don't get to be on social media. You don't get to have a phone, right? Do we just want to unperson everyone? Do we want to use the guilt by association against everything? So we've had a lot of these posts, right? So this is from I meme, therefore I am. Right? We've had this guy.
This fucking close. We were this fucking close. Inches away. Work on your aim, Pennsylvania.
So, we got all these people talking like this, right? I meme, therefore I am. Here, let me go ahead and show the tweet. If you know who he is and where he works, my DMs are open, right? You got libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok. Now, folks, I get a lot of content from libs of TikTok, but this stuff's going viral here. Attention anyone near Grand Rapids, Michigan. This Southern Kitchen and Bar employs this person who is sad the shooter missed. He already took his employment out of his bio, but we called and confirmed he still works there. Beware of this restaurant. So trying to cancel a whole restaurant because of one dude's words. We don't know how many people work at this restaurant, how many people might be. And then down here in the comments is a screenshot from their Facebook on Sunday. We're made aware of a comment by one of our employees. This individual has been immediately suspended pending an HR investigation. And then people down in the comments, you're trying to cancel a normal dude who works at a restaurant for hating a politician, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then over here we have a Pennsylvania fire chief who said, too bad it didn't hit him square. And then someone reported my post. And then later, except this is my resignation from the firehouse. I can't do this. I've been threatened. Family's been threatened. Friends have been threatened. Never felt so unsafe in his life. Yeah, we'll get into this Demon's Wrath. I can't condone what you said because of social media regulations, but I'll talk a little bit about that here in just a minute. Sanglet says that wasn't a joke. Guess he's been hitting the bong of destiny a bit too often. So yeah, here and again, Libs of TikTok was involved in exposing this individual. And then today we had a lot of lines get crossed here with Libs of TikTok. We had this lady.
Waldron? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is a random person at Greg Sunderland 5 showing up to this woman's job and asking her about her comments.
From Cayuga? And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook? You think
I am at work. Her response is I'm at work. She's saying I'm not being political at my job. I'm keeping my job and my politics and my social media. I'm keeping it separate. That's what she says when she's saying I am at work. And yet Republicans are going to people's jobs to harass them while they're trying to earn a living. Republicans are doing that.
think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
I am at work.
I think that's pretty messed up. Pretty anti-American, if you ask me.
Okay, well, it's also anti-American to want people to lose their job and therefore have to collect unemployment. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish by this? What is conservative about wanting this lady to not have a job? What are you conserving? What is...
As a veteran, I'm disgusted.
As a veteran, I'm disgusted.
To this country.
Okay.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Now look, maybe this guy didn't mean for her to get fired, but then it was shared by Libs of TikTok. And then Libs of TikTok added Home Depot, and Home Depot responded with, this individual's comments don't reflect the Home Depot or our values. We can confirm she no longer works at the Home Depot. Now look, here's what I'm going to say. Whether it be Tupelo, Honey Southern Kitchen and Bar, or Home Depot, or Disney, or Jack fucking Black, stand up for the people who are there for you. I don't have to agree with everything someone says. And we're going to get more into this. And I'm going to have a big final thought. Singlet says the lefties have been pulling this shit for years. Perhaps now we can end it. Not kidding. It's intended. They've been doing this to conservatives for decades. Now they're just being held by their own principles. Then Cookie says this is war. Okay, but our nation is divided. Our nation is divided. Let's get into the ultimate one, right? The ultimate one. Now, as you may be familiar, Donald Trump wasn't the only person shot on Saturday. Donald Trump was not the only one shot on Saturday. Here you have the streamer known as Destiny at the Omni Liberal on Twitter. Destiny. All I see is Biden up +1 in Pennsylvania. When you have a pool of the victim's blood in the stands. Now, granted, +1 usually means 1%, but that would only be one vote, so you can't even math, you fucking idiot. He says, a person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught astray. I'm so sad, please. This is the at the Trump rally, LMAO. So this is where this might take a turn here. Because those of us on social media, those of us who have platforms, he says Republicans need to stop being soft. No. Here, again, I'm going to hold my tongue because there's going to be a lot of this coming up. Right wingers, bars were being shut down, lives ruined to the point of suicide. They laughed when it happened. They can get effed. These loons are at war with us. We need to stop being soft. And then Demon's Wrath's got a little spoiler alert for where this story's going here. And let me go ahead and just bring that up. Destiny was banned by Kick. People are like, "Oh, well, he was banned by Kick for jokes, whatever." No, let's watch this video. Let's watch this video.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy. Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay? Just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100%. Fuck.
Okay, so this is what he's essentially saying, right? You're in the crowd. I'm making fun of you. Essentially, he's creating a hypothetical scenario where one of his audience, or well, actually one of Trump's audience, would get shot, and he'd find it funny, and he's basically maintained that position. Now, here's the thing. One of the things Squishy Hunter said here, they can get fucked. I lost sympathy long ago. Now, when we're talking about social media, it's a different fucking story. When we're talking about these online platforms, now let me be very careful in my words because I'm talking about myself in this. I'm live streaming to you folks right now. I have to be careful of what I say. I can laugh about the helicopter jokes. I can laugh about the commie jokes. But you know what? If I was to call Destiny a communist, once you get personal, once you talk about a single person, once you start wishing violence on groups of people. Now, look, I can make jokes about commies and helicopters, but you know what? When I get to but see, here's the issue with that. Your average conservative doesn't have a helicopter. Your average conservative's not going to literally drag child predators into a wood chipper. Your average conservative just flat out doesn't have those things to do. And this takes me back to my R word jokes, right? When you do have the forced sexual activity and how a lot of people say you can't joke about that. Yeah, again, I'm going to get back to that, Demon's Wrath. I'm going to circle back to that. Feminist standards threatened to kill his entire audience. Yes. And then Squishy Hunter says he's a big head, noodle armed cook. Yes, he's definitely a cuckold. Definitely a cuckold. His wife left him to have sex with a weaker individual. Yes, he's definitely a cuckold. But anyway, what was I getting at? I was in the middle of a thought and now I got distracted by the chat. Okay, so I was saying there's a little different standard, right? Between I was saying the R word. Yeah, when you make an R word joke, that's not calling for people to be R worded. Right? That's not going to a woman who's been R worded and saying, "I'm glad you've been R worded." That's not calling someone and saying, "I'm going to R word you." And that's not telling your audience that you should R word a bunch of women who follow this person online. Right? Those three things, specifically targeting one person, specifically calling for a group to be the victims of violence, right? jokes are one thing, but you gotta be. The point of one of those R-word jokes is to make it insanely abnormal, right? You're trying to make the act seem insanely abnormal. You're showing how extreme it is. So when you hear conservatives talking about helicopters and wood chippers, they're not talking about sniper rifles, right? They're not talking about an event that literally just happened. There's the line right there. You can't be talking about quite literally something that has actually happened. An actual case that you're talking about. You can't be referring to that and saying, oh, yeah, it should happen again. You can't do that. You can't talk about a particular individual. And you can't narrow it down like that. So where do we draw the line with jokes? Look, I try to be close to a free speech absolutist. But then you have these lefties. You got the lefties who've been saying for a long time that people like Alex Jones don't deserve to live. The people shouldn't make jokes. And that we don't deserve to eat because of what we say online. And they say things like, well, Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, they don't have to platform you. Well, Kick doesn't have to platform what we just saw from Destiny. Yeah, Sanglant. But again, there's a difference between a social media platform platforming Destiny and a little old lady who works at Home Depot or a guy that works at a restaurant. Now, look, one thing I will say, if you're going to say spicy shit on the internet, do it from a troll account, do it from an anonymous account. And if you're not going to do it from a troll account or an anonymous account, then by God, don't have your workplace info on the internet. I'm not saying these people deserved it. And, you know, I've covered the whole victim blaming thing, and I'm not going to debate that with people. The whole victim blaming shit. But chances are, if you've got that kind of info, if you're using social media in that way, where you have your workplace listed and all the people you love linked to your social media, and you got pictures of your kids and links to their Facebook accounts and this and that, and you're posting this kind of spicy shit, you have to be careful. It's one thing to say I don't like Donald Trump. It's another thing to start talking about people being deserving of catching bullets or being deserving of sexual assault. Sanglan 86 says anonymous clout don't get you a trout. Oh God, trout for clout. Let's not Google trout for clout. Thank you. But there's a line that has to be drawn. And I'd say public figures, shit on me. I have a job away from this webcam. I have a real life job. Shit on me online. But I'll tell you what, when I'm in the line of duty, when I'm doing my job, when I'm serving my community for my employer, one of the things my employer has done was asked me not to represent them online, right? They've asked me not to link my social media to them. Out of respect for them, I do that, right? I know I say spicy shit online. I know I get into politically aggressive topics online. People, if you're going to be spicy online, don't link your job. Don't talk about your job. Don't link your family members. Don't make your family members part of your political crusades. So, in the wake of all this, Destiny's had several. He just won't get off the internet. He was ratioed by Sydney Watson. He went on Piers Morgan, and I was going to show the clip of Piers Morgan, but I'm just going to not. He went on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan roasted the shit out of him. He went on Spaces and got just obliterated by everyone else on Spaces. Got Squishy Hunter saying, Cookie will give you her trout for clout. Fun times, fun times. Trout, it's what's for dinner. Where's my cornmeal? Flippy, 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 flippy. All right. So let's talk about someone who should be canceled. Let's talk about someone who should be canceled because one of the other big news stories of the week were all of the deep dives and conspiracy theories into how does Donald Trump get shot when you have the Secret Service protecting him? Now, normally on this show, the first thing I do is bring up a clip of all the fat women, the embarrassing fat women who were struggling to get their gun in the holster and the craziness, the other fat woman who was hiding, it might have been the same woman who was hiding behind Donald Trump. These Secret Service agents whose job it is to literally jump in front of the bullet for the man, hiding behind him when shit pops off. Normally on this show, I would be highlighting that and laughing at it for several minutes. And then showing the Cookies cooking her trout. Squishy Hunter says Trump gets shot by a bullet. Sangland says Agent Pat. Yeah. I would be highlighting these individuals and mocking them hilariously, and then showing how at the RNC it appears Trump now has a all-male Secret Service staff protecting him. And there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and I'll talk about a few of them. There are people talking about the different levels of protection that should have been around the grounds there at the event, talking about things the police said about their protection of the event, things the Secret Service has said about their protection of the event. I've seen several conflicting reports about the shooter. Right, he was Republican, yet he has classmates who says he didn't like Trump. He had yard signs, but then they may have been his parents. He was registered Republican, but someone with his name donated to Act Blue. But then Democrats are saying, well, no, there's an older guy in the same county with the same name, which is like, okay, how the fuck? Thought it was a smaller kind of community. Cookie says no women cops. I'll get to that point here in a minute. And she says, tell Squishy to meet me on Nick's chat. He's scared. And do drunk men's tally work? I never had one. We've been there. We've been there. Agent Cookie. He was a Democrat that registered for the primary. Now, I think that's true. I mean, we were talking about Nikki Haley at the beginning, and I do know Pennsylvania was one of the states where they were heavily promoting Democrats switching their registration to vote for Haley. Again, your results may vary. But there were several things about the shooter. Did he show up in a van? Did he show up with a bicycle? Was he walking? How did he get the gun on the roof? Whether he brought the ladder or the cops did. Whether there were cops inside the building or outside the building. And what were the various things that held up the Secret Service agent from firing? And, there are a lot of conspiracy theory questions out there, and I'm not going to sit here and debate them all. But I did find this interesting. We'll bring this up. This is your Director of Secret Service of the United States.
Director of the United States Secret Service, Kimberly Cheeto, speaks exclusively with ABC News, taking responsibility for that stunning breakdown in security.
This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
Minutes after Trump took the stage Saturday in front of thousands of people, gunman Thomas Matthew Crooks wounding the former president and 3 others before.
By the way, that's another conspiracy theory. I've heard that Cook wasn't the actual shooter. Then there's people showing that another dude looked like him, and one of the things I want to point out real quick before I go any further. One of the things I want to point out. In the first 12 hours after the shooting, I saw a lot of Republican accounts on Twitter saying that instead of having Secret Service protection, Trump should just reject the Secret Service protection and go get Blackwater and Eric Prince to protect him. Cookie says, who put this chick in charge? Joseph Robinette Biden did. Yeah, Joseph Robinette Biden put that chick in charge. Anyway, and then it comes out about 12 hours later. Well, yeah, the kid was in a commercial for him. Fun times. All right, so let's continue with this.
Secret Service counter sniper took him out.
I am being told that the shooter was actually identified as a potential person of suspicion. Units started responding to seek that individual out. Unfortunately, with the rapid succession of how things unfolded, by the time that individual was eventually located, they were on the rooftop. And
now again, you have eyewitnesses who said it was going on for several minutes. Several minutes.
Were able to fire off at the former president.
ABC News now learning that heavily armed local police were actually stationed inside the building.
Inside the building, and did not hear someone clamoring around on the roof. Did not hear a ladder hitting the side of the building.
The gunman climbed, but they missed him. Butler town officials confirming that after they became aware of the threat, a local police officer climbed up to the roof and confronted Crooks, but did not succeed in stopping him.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously, for the former president.
Investigators now trying to determine whether roof access had been properly locked down. The shooter climbing up seemingly unimpeded, about 400 feet from the stage, with a direct line of sight on the former president.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof.
Fucking what? Fucking what? Let's hear that again.
Considered there that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
Cheetos.
A sloped roof would have been too unsafe to station security on top of. Let's hear that one more time.
At its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there that we wouldn't want to put somebody up.
Now you're seeing images of the roof as she's saying that on the ABC News.
Sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
Cheeto says the Secret Service was responsible for the inner perimeter of the rally where Trump was, but local police were responsible for the outer perimeter where the gunman was located. In Washington, lawmakers demanding answers, calling on the Secret Service director to appear before Congress.
We will be transparent both internally with my own folks.
Okay, but it's now being reported that Congress is calling for an investigation and calling for these people to testify, and that Mayorkas is holding it up. Your director of Department of Homeland Security.
And externally with members of Congress and with the American public. That's what the public deserves.
The president and Homeland Security
Got still not banned here
said
waving
today
at
they
us.
had
Cheers and welcome.
100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
Do you plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Quit your job. Quit your job. Where's the cancel culture here? Right? All the people joking about President Trump getting fired. But, we all have to rally around Mark Randazza's point here. Why isn't she fired yet? Why isn't she fired yet? And then everyone's memeing the shit out of this. Slopey roof, shooter, ladder, FBI over here making love to each other. Holy shit, Demon's Wrath. Down to 203. Fuck yeah, keep up the good work, man. Cookie wants Lieutenant Alan West to be head of Secret Service. Still not banned here, says this is accurate. This is an accurate depiction of what happened on Saturday. This is at __B_K_. Credit to them for their wonderful artwork. I'm sure other content creators like Homath would be proud of your awesome artistic skills. Yeah, Demon's Wrath is 190 pounds in no time. I'm plateaued like a motherfucker between 220 and 225. Here's DC Drano on Twitter with a meme. The roof slope was unsafe. And then here's an actual cow. All right, folks. So let me just say, after all the shit we just talked about, I do have to say one thing. I'm going to be retiring the next segment. We might do it occasionally, but I'm not going to make it a weekly thing. I'm not going to do this every week anymore. And why? Because it required me to get a lot of content essentially from Libs of TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I was stealing a lot of this content from Libs of TikTok. I will say that this segment is not brought to you by Libs of TikTok this week. It's, of course, the Gender Crazy of the Week segment. I did not get this content from Libs of TikTok this week, but a lot of times this segment would I'd fail to find other clips and I'd have to jump on Libs of TikTok and find some craziness. And in the spirit of moving on from the division of our country, Still not banned here says, yeah, I hope no one gives you shit for being too skinny now, Demon's Wrath. Yep. And then Cookie's leaving, kisses and hugs. Back at you, my lady. And he says, "Got a long way to go before he's satisfied." Well, don't we all? Don't we all strive for perfection? And every time we make a giant leap, we're closer to the goal, but then we decide the goal could be a little further, right? Yeah, Demon's Rest says Libs of TikTok gets her stuff from all over, though. Who cares? Yeah, and same way with Clown World and a lot of these folks. But I'm making a decision that to me, Libs of TikTok has crossed a line this time, and they went crazy. Chaya went pretty fucking crazy this time, and pretty hypocritical after everything she's been through, and after the media coming down on her to then point her guns at people who literally are just trying to earn a fucking living. And like I said, maybe those people shouldn't have had their media accounts connected to their job or whatever. And maybe their jobs should have fucking stood by their employees' right to be a political person outside of their workplace. All of those things are true. But we need to stop being like fucking Disney. We need to stop being so fucking fragile. And jokes are just jokes, even if we find them disgusting. But this is the thing. We all have a First Amendment right to then retweet that and say, hey, this is fucking disgusting. What we shouldn't be doing is then picking up the phone and calling other people and saying, hey, this disgusting person, I don't like them. You need to not like them too. Anyway, so time for the gender crazy of the week, folks. So here's an individual I'm sure you will all find very beautiful and loving. Yeah, I'm sure you all will find this person. You should be friends with this person. Here we go.
What's made it so special is the other people working on the show. Sam Kingman, who directed it and just took the idea on its own and elevated it and just, I don't know, everyone taking this idea so seriously.
These are our Broadway superstars in 2024.
And that's what makes it so rewarding and exciting.
If you're gonna wear a low-cut dress, why do you not shave your chest? Hey, Cookie's making split pea soup. And Demon's Wrath is making split pea soup after seeing this individual.
See what I'm going after, and they're adding to it.
So downtown, did you all share a dressing room together?
We all shared one dressing room. It was basically
He doesn't have the cleavage to pull it off, right?
hallway. There was a dead rat in the walls. There was rain.
A dead rat, rain.
But
I can't take you seriously.
And if there are dead rats, I can't smell them.
Yeah, this person expects me to take their opinion of dressing rooms seriously. Okay. Oh, sorry, I had some indigestion after that. Okay. One more clip. This might be an older clip because I got it from Defiant Els, who likes to post old shit, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So let's watch this. It's kind of relevant to some of the topics we talked about tonight. So let's, yes, pastries after all that funniness. Yes. Pulling a lot of weight for a waist. Yeah. Okay, so this next clip is kind of important after the sensitive topics we've talked about tonight. Let's hear this young lady's opinion.
There's so much trans hate in the fucking world. Sorry. There's so much trans hate in the world right now, and I'm so done with it. And pride just means that we are unabashedly happy just to be alive.
Yeah. And where do you personally feel that hate is coming from?
Most places, but especially the government.
And in your own life, where would you say that you feel the hate the most?
I feel like I kind of internalize a lot of the hate, so it feels like it mostly comes from myself at this point because
Oh, Squishy Hunter said that hate is well deserved, but yes, Demon's Rest says nowhere. Yeah, exactly. That's the joke. That's the joke. Is nobody hates you for being a human being. Nobody hates you. You hate yourself. And I could talk a lot about transgender statistics right now, but I'm not going to make that joke because, like I said, wanting people to die is probably not the answer. And as we started off talking about gatekeeping, instead of wanting these people to die, I want these people to come to their fucking senses. I want these people to realize what they're doing is nuts. And start realizing what this country really needs. Right? I want people to come together. I want people to start supporting the things that make the country great again. Thank you, Donald Trump. Fake heiress, Anna Sorkin, Rainbow. I don't know what you're talking about, but hell yeah. I mean, there are a lot of these weirdos that make me think of certain people that I've seen. You know, this is kind of the thing, is they do kind of all look alike in some way. All right. Well, folks, that's gonna be. Well, no, let me rant just a little more. I have had some conversations with Trump derangement people recently. And part of the political discourse right now is how dangerous we are, right? How dangerous Trump supporters are, how dangerous these weirdos are. And look, we have an unhinged individual that took it too far. That doesn't mean everyone's responsible, right? There's a lot of people like, oh no, CNN's responsible, Biden's responsible. Look at all these people responsible for the hate and rhetoric that led to Trump being shot. No. The thing that led to Trump being shot was one weirdo fucking kid that couldn't discern the difference between political rhetoric, right? Exaggerated political rhetoric. Thing that says self-harm is bad. Especially because you know that there have been a lot of people who've detransitioned, who've become conservative, and have given up the fight for this ideology, the harmful ideologies, right? That's what we should want. And I lost my train of thought again looking at the chat, but ultimately we have the answer. The answer is for us to stop being so damn divided. Because that's why CNN does this. This is why Fox does this. This is why Twitter does this. Right? For every time Destiny tweets a shitty tweet wishing for one of us to die, we get the urge to reply. For every time we reply, and then a leftist replies, and then we reply back, another ad gets loaded. So we see the division in our feed because the algorithm promotes the division in our feed. CNN promotes the division among us. As I said, I recently have had a lot of conversations with Trump derangement people where they cannot be convinced that Trump is not dangerous, not a threat. I don't blame them for the shooting. I blame the fact that we're buying into these fucking media narratives. That includes the social media narratives. I recently had another chance to get out of my house and meet groups of people in a setting that was not political at all. Now, when I say not political, everything is politics to some degree. Everything has a little bit of politics built in. But I've recently had a chance to go out and meet people. And there became a point where it's like, okay, should we follow each other on social media? And then it's like, well, wait a minute. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe not. Because once you meet someone in real life and you have a good time with them, and then you start engaging them on social media with some of these topics. I have a couple coworkers who, Trump derangement up the ass, right? They're all about the climate change. And I followed them on social media, and they say blowhard shit, and I say blowhard shit. Luckily, they have a good natured spirit about it. Folks, that's what we need. We need to just remind ourselves that everyone's adults, and we could sit down, play board games, we could play video games, we could go have a beer, we could work together. We could go to work and not let Trump derangement or Trump worship affect us on a day-to-day basis. Folks, that's what I use you for. Like, you guys are my echo chamber. I get my little echo chamber out here so that I can go off into the world and have a good time and not constantly be doom-pilled about everyone around me being a fucking zombie. Because you know what? Ultimately, they're living in the world that was built for them. And as much as you can kind of try to pepper in, yeah, I don't really eat seed oils. I kind of think they make, you kind of pepper in red pills here and there. Yeah, I don't really date women who did this or did that. I'm not into the porn stars. You kind of pepper in your own red pills. But you don't have to preach to everyone around you and say, oh, I know it's all dangerous and you're a threat to me. No. Live in peace. All right, folks. That's going to be about the show for today. Oh, shit. There are enough of you here where I could actually do one of these damn Rumble Studio campaigns, but I'm not. I'm not going to grift. It's not about the money. Although I will say, if someone like Amber Rose or someone wanted to donate, wanted to come in and give us a Rumble rant, I would not say no. I would say thank you. So, yeah. So everyone out there who showed up tonight, Sanglant, Squishy Hunter, Still Not Banned Here, Demon's Wrath, Cookie. I know I'm missing somebody, aren't I? I always miss one just because it's not recent. It's always somebody that chatted an hour ago or something. Anyway, and like all 20 of you who seem to be watching right now, cheers and thank you for showing up. If you could take a second, click that thumbs up. Redbreast 12, pretty good. You could take a second, click that thumbs up. If you're new here, click the follow button. Oh, shit. Amazon has Don't Duck With Me key rings. Anybody got Duck Fat's address? Hey, we got Cool Frog in the chat now that I've almost ran out of whiskey. Cheers and welcome. Now I am out of whiskey, so if anyone else says hi, I'm sorry. Squishy Hunter's got cats. Pound that pussy. Yeah, pound that like button. Follow, share the link, all that stuff. If you're new here, watch a second video. All right, folks. Until next time, which should be this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel. I say should be because I will say I'm really thinking about going out this weekend instead of doing the show. If so, I will try to do something maybe Friday or Sunday. But for now, it's still Saturday. For now, I'm still planning on doing Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. Same stuff. Oh yeah, I don't need whiskey. Drink gin with me, bro, says Squishy Hunter. Yeah, I don't need the whiskey. In fact, that's why I occasionally do the show completely without whiskey. Oh no, I sat on my vape. Vape up the ball sack. Use my other one. All right, folks. So yeah, this Saturday might be rescheduled, but for now, keep an eye on the social media down in the description. If I reschedule, I'll let you folks know there. But until then, 6 p.m. Central this Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, every Saturday, every Wednesday, right here on Rumble, X, Locals, and YouTube. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast those haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Catch you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Yeah, Demon's Wrath heard my my ringtone, my little relic notification tone. Yep. Take care, everybody. Good night.